This lesson is based on merit-based aid. This goes with this goes with worksheet 13-3. So you want to have your 13-3 in front of you so that we can learn about merit-based aid. So reviewing from class, there are merit-based awards, which are based on your achievements, and there are also need-based financial aid, and that is based on your family's income. This lesson, like I said, focuses on merit-based aid or merit-based awards. So of the four sources, think for just a second about which source this must be about. I hope you said scholarships, because that is the only one that is merit-based awards. So because it is merit-based, this whole lesson is going to be about scholarships. So here are your notes. When we're talking about scholarships, we need to identify the funders, and we also need to identify the quality categories of those different scholarships. So our whole point, by the end of this video, you should be able to identify funders and quality categories of scholarships. We're going to do a lot of practice with this next class, but this is just to give you a very brief intro as far as what all of these terms mean. So when we're talking about funders, we want to know, if I get a scholarship, who actually gives the money? Like, where does it come from? It has to come from somebody. So funding is all about where the money comes from, and funders are then the who behind it. There are three different funders that we're going to talk about. So you'll have three funders. We also want to know, because we know it's based on achievements, for what achievements can I earn money? So what do I have to do? If somebody's going to give me money to go to college, what is it that I have to do? There are 5 qualities that all scholarships are really based on. Some are based on one of those qualities, some are based on 2 of those qualities. I don't think there are any that are based on all 5, but they may come from 1 or 2 different categories. So your 3 funders, I'll give you the 3 names first so you can write those in, and then I'll explain each one. We have corporate funders, we have private funders, and we also have college funders. Corporate funders come from a for-profit company or business. So when I'm thinking about this, I think of when we did types, right? We talked a lot about for-profit. Think of that word corporation or something that is corporate. So a for-profit company would give out scholarships. There are actually a lot of scholarships out there that are given by corporations or companies or businesses. For example, you might actually earn a scholarship given to you by PepsiCo, the company that makes Pepsi. They give out a lot of scholarships. The other day when I went to Panera Bread to get me some delicious bread, I saw that they had a thing out about their Panera scholarship. So there are a lot of companies out there that give out scholarships, and we call those scholarships corporate scholarships. When we're talking about private, this also makes me think back to that list of types. Private scholarships are going to come from a nonprofit or from even an individual. So a nonprofit organization would give out this scholarship, and we would consider it private. For example, if GCYC were to give out a GCYC scholarship, that would come from a nonprofit organization, so it would be private. This also could be from an individual. So if a person gave out a scholarship, like maybe Miss Greer gave out the Miss Greer scholarship every year, we would consider that to be a private scholarship. And then the last funder is a college funder. So if a scholarship is a college scholarship, it's coming from the school that you actually attend. An example here would be when I went to Elon University, Elon actually gave me a scholarship. So they were the ones who gave the money so that I could actually attend school there. So those are your 3 different funders. There are 5 qualities that most scholarships fit into these categories. Again, I'll give you the categories first so that you can put those in, and then I'll explain each one. The first one is academic. The next category is what we call extracurricular. We also have community service. There are what we call diversity scholarships. And then the last category is what we call unique scholarships. So you're probably already putting 2 and 2 together here, but an academic scholarship is based on your GPA and also based on your ACT score. Now sometimes it's based on one or the other, sometimes it's based on just one, but either way, it's going to be looking at your student data to figure out, like, did you qualify for this scholarship? So they're looking at your grades, they're looking at your ACT score in order to determine if that academic scholarship fits you. An extracurricular scholarship, we just happen to use a different word at GCCP, but this is a scholarship that's going to be based on your enrichment. So it's based on things that you do in school but outside of the classroom. That might be an athletics scholarship, that might be a music scholarship, that might be anything that's going to be school related but not necessarily in the classroom. A community service scholarship will be based on the number of hours that you complete. Now you know at GCCP we require 40 hours of community service before you graduate. That is not going to be enough hours to qualify you for a community service scholarship. These scholarships are usually for students who go really above and beyond. I'm thinking like 250 hours, like people who are just every waking second that they're not spending in school, they're doing community service. Diversity scholarships are going to be scholarships that are based on getting a diverse group of students to their school. So diversity scholarships are things that make people a little bit different. It might have something to do with your race, so maybe being a student of color, but it's not just limited to that. It could also be something like where you're from. Maybe you're from a really different state from where the school is. A lot of schools will give out a scholarship for students who are coming from a long way away. Another one that we see a lot is first-generation college students. So if you're a first-generation college student, you might qualify for a specific scholarship that way. It's about getting different people into the doors of their college. So don't just think about race, although that is a part of this type of scholarship. The last category is what we call the unique scholarships. This is really for anything that doesn't fit in anywhere else, but it's based on specific qualities that a student would have. It might be that you are left-handed. There's actually a left-handed scholarship out there, so that's a pretty specific thing. Maybe you are really good at juggling, and you are a master juggler, and you get a scholarship from a juggling association. So it would be any kind of specific quality that doesn't fit into the academic, extracurricular, community service, or diversity categories. And there are thousands of these based on thousands of different things. That's it for this lesson. So make sure that you have the notes based on what you're seeing on the screen right now. And then don't forget that you'll need to take another QuizStar quiz in order to avoid LaSalle next class. Love you, bye. See you later.